Hi, this is Jonathan Soul with Heaven in My Body, and I wanted to read a letter that I received today, and it's about the struggles of family and midlife and um, financial struggles, parenting struggles, and social and economic struggles that the vast majority of us go through in our life. And I'll discuss some things we can do to make it better, to bring communities together, to bring partners together that have drifted apart, that hopefully will resonate for some of you. So I'm going to read this email that I got, and it's a few paragraphs long, so bear with me. And I'm going to use the name Jane because I'm going to protect the privacy of the woman who wrote this. Hi, Jonathan. I'm 49. I have 3 almost grown-up sons. The youngest is now 18 and the only one living with us full time. He had a very bad time as a teenager, which meant we had a bad time. Lots and lots of worry, anxiety, negativity, and concerns. Police, drugs, social misunderstandings, etc. He dropped out of school for 3 years, so I had to give up my favorite job to be near him most of the time. He's come through. He is much happier. He has a girlfriend. He passed some important exams and some he got top grades in. He went back to school and he just took a major exam in politics 2 weeks ago. He still has some deficits in that he has just poor executive functions, terrible understanding of time. But he's more mature, kinder, has moments where he thanks me. So I'm just going to address this part real quick. Now, I can really identify with this family situation because I was that boy when I was a teenager. And it really is thanks to my parents' patience and love and devotion and sacrifice, along with other community um, opportunities that I received, people who came into my life that really supported me being me, my authentic self, that allowed me to come out of it and not go on a downward spiral from there. So I really want to commend you on staying with it, making the sacrifices for this young man and helping him through that. And it sounds like it's paid off. And I'm really happy, really happy to hear that, because so many of our young teenagers are completely lost. And so many parents don't know how to make those sacrifices and don't know how to communicate or hold space and love for those kids and through the difficult times. And I'm just so grateful to hear that it's working out. Um, and I made a video on Tuesday, the Journaling Tuesday video, about the concept of time, and I discussed in there a little bit further, well, because you mentioned he has a terrible understanding of time, and just how that is associated often with very sensitive people and artistic, creative people who are very often not the type who fit in regular school environments, and that can be a devastating effect on them and cause them to rebel and just feel like they don't fit in, they're not wanted. So just recognizing the specialness and the special gifts, or the spiritual gifts, the artistic gifts of your son there, might be another step that you could take. Helping him get in touch with those in some way. I'm going to keep reading the email here. But we also have had business problems for years. My husband is an entrepreneur, 13 businesses. For various reasons, most haven't worked. Yet he was so energetic and talented. He kept on, but he's got stuck now in a business that isn't ideal because it's not social. He works alone with wood, not his training. He owes money to the bank. He feels he can't leave. Neither of us have any financial security, really. No pension. It makes us feel a little worried. Even now we feel we have to work to avoid debt. It's a pressure. Yes, no doubt, for every single one of us, right? Anybody who's, not rich, is really worried because, while there are some social safety nets that we have in the Western world, they're really meant to keep you not starving and not completely shelterless. They're not meant to really help people thrive. And the concept of community that comes together and acts together and shares and connects with each other and really protects each other like a village is gone the way of, the dinosaur, right? And it's so sad and it's so difficult. And there are a lot of long-term solutions for these types of things, but it's still very much in the birth state, like things like co-housing communities and urban villages and other kinds of social safety nets that we need to create. And just the concept of debt and struggle to work and the amount of hours that you have to work and the difficulty and people not being supported to thrive through what their heart is calling for. And not, it's also about us not having the tools to connect and really listen to where the path needs to take us, and acting from those fears. So there's this mutual responsibility of us being higher aligned and connected, and also society coming together to support that alignment and connection, which it doesn't at this point for the most part. And so it's really difficult. And while I can, without real understanding of the business situation that you're in, I can't really offer specific solutions to that. I just want to acknowledge and tell you how much I resonate with that personally. How many times, I can't tell you how many times I've been stuck in jobs, how many times I've worked 16-hour days, just to make sure that my daughter has food, that we have shelter, that we can keep on living and striving towards fulfilling our deepest soul's desire. So I want to commend you for supporting yourself and your husband through that, even with the difficult times that you've had with your son. If you're interested in resources on co-housing or other kind of social communities, then you can definitely look that up. I'll try and find some stuff and post it in the comments afterwards. I'm going to keep reading. This is another component about relationships in this email that is really important. And because of the stress, I feel resentment. Yes, probably towards my husband for not looking after us better, for taking risks. I think this is getting in the way of my and his happiness. I love him, but I shut down with him physically. I want to feel an open channel of love for him. We have grown apart. Life feels like a treadmill. We have joy at times in our family with our kids. We both love them all so much. We are very proud of them. But ourselves have been damaged on the way. Midlife is a difficult time. Can you help? You are so refreshing. Thank you for saying I'm refreshing. I certainly hope that I can bring some fresh air to certain issues. Now, on the topic of relationship and the stress that parenting and isolation and financial struggle brings to our relationship, it's devastating. Ariana and I have certainly been through that. When our daughter was first born, society doesn't really support, the parent to stop working for any length of time, and the families to be together, living in this single house without family nearby, with our friends live 20 minutes away. It's hard to drive with a baby screaming in the car to feel connected. Plus, you're so exhausted anyway. Who has the energy to do that? And of course, that's parents of young children, but the concept is the same, like financial struggle, right? I had to work. I still have to work, obviously, but it's gotten better since then. And I know that Ariana felt so isolated as a mother at home with a young child, not really being able to go anywhere or have support. And then over the past few years, coming out of that really carefully, but the amount of disconnection and difficulty that we had was really horrible. Like, we thought we might not make it. There's a book that I found, and the practices in that book really saved our relationship. It's called Flesh and Spirit. It's by a husband and wife, Jack and Jacqueline. I forget their last name now, but I'll find the link to the book and I'll put it here in the comments. And the book talks about one practice in particular. It has a lot of practices in it, but there's one main practice that's really important. It's called sitting in council. And what this offers a couple is to sit, breathe together, connect together, and then essentially just take turns talking and listening. If I'm talking, she's listening. If she's talking, I'm listening. You take some kind of object, and whoever's holding the object, it's their turn to talk. You don't react, you don't respond. When it's your turn, you don't argue, you simply acknowledge, and then you share your feelings. It takes a little practice, to get through it. It takes a lot of discipline not to interrupt your partner when you think they're being unfair or you're taking it really personally. But there is a practice that goes along with that, just sitting, that really makes all the difference. And it's called inviting in the third. That's what they call it in the book. And what you do is you kind of sit and breathe together, and you invite in, you even put a little cushion to the side, you know, and you invite in the energy of your relationship, like the entity of your relationship, the single consciousness that is your relationship, and you know, in spirit, and you invite it to sit, and you just listen to it, and you receive from it as well. And if one of you feels like there's a message coming through that from that relationship, you can share it when it's your turn to share. You can pick up that stick and share. Obviously the book goes a lot deeper into this practice, and you can learn from that. But being able to do that, bearing our hearts and being heard, talking about all the difficult times that we went through personally, and the alienation and the feeling of being broken. I can't tell you how much that helped, you know, to heal our relationship. I'm really grateful for that practice, and I want to tell you that if you don't heal this part of your relationship, you know, everything else is gonna become worse as a result. You know, if you don't find the energy to be authentic, you know, speaking the resentment, speaking the difficulties, and you know, he'll probably feel like it's not fair, he's worked so hard, how dare you resent him, like those obvious things are going to come up, but then you're going to get to much deeper places when you actually listen and don't interrupt and argue. But I can't tell you again how crucial it is to heal that relationship, so that for the rest of your life can find harmony and alignment. Like the business stuff, well, we didn't come into alignment for me and Ariana until our relationship was in harmony. Our parenting was really difficult and challenging, and probably not serving the best interest of our child until our relationship was in harmony again. So, you know, I can't emphasize that enough, on how important it is to heal that relationship, whether it's doing simple things together, like making those plans together. You have grown-up children, you shouldn't have a problem getting out into nature for a couple hours every week together, and just sitting in the sun together, being silent together, sitting back to back together and just being silent, offering each other gratitudes at the end of every day. I'm grateful today that you've done this for me, that you've done that for me, and exchanging those gratitudes with each other. It's just starting to be really, really positive with each other. Every single day, it'll start to shift the heaviness in the heart around that. Finding those ways, you know, if you're starting to get into an argument, you can both make an agreement. You know, somebody gave us this tip, it really helped. You know, you can speak 4 positive things about your partner, and you don't even have to speak it. Just think 4 positive things about your partner, and immediately you're going to be like, okay, yeah, okay, this is the person who has loved me through so much, who has sacrificed so much. Okay, I can be patient right now. I don't have to get into this same cycle of difficulty right now. So as always, I hope this helps. I hope it's refreshing, like you said in the email. Thank you for that. And I wish you and everybody in this situation all the best. You know, bringing community and support to community is one of my biggest passions, and in the long run I really hope to be involved in lots of co-housing communities and creating community environments with shared resources and things like that. That's a really long-term goal, so hopefully some of you will at that point be on board with that. Blessings. Have a wonderful day.